This video will explain the integration of the add-on instruction for the O2I5 series code reading cameras. In the PLC setup video, we have set up the O2I5 camera under the Ethernet IP module. I have also configured the camera to have two applications. An application for a process interface trigger, which is application 1, and that means that the PLC will be sending the trigger for the evaluation. And then we have the second application, which is the same application but a continuous trigger. So we'll cyclically send the information to the PLC. You can import the add-on instruction either online or offline. I'm going to integrate it offline. Under the Assets folder, we'll right-click on Add-on Instructions and click on Import. In the Startup package in Folder 3, we'll see the add-on instruction and the L5X file. We can click on it and import the file. Once the import is done, we can go to our main routine, or any routine, and drag it onto a rung of logic. There's a little bit of setup to do. First, we'll give it an instance name, so I'm going to call it O2I5xx. We'll right-click on it and create a new name. The PLC input and output come from the controller tags. When you open up the input table, you'll see a .data. This will give us the byte array for the input table, and then also we'll do the same thing for the output. The PLC input connection faulted bit can be found under the input table as well. The last tag to set up is the evaluation result data. This is where the code information will come into the add-on instruction. So here we'll call it evaluation data. This is user defined, and we'll see that this is a 442 byte array. Once we create it, we'll have no errors on the rung, and now we can make a download to the project. The download has completed, and now we're ready to go to run mode. There is a first scan function in the add-on instruction, and that will update the active application number and the total number of apps once it's been connected to the PLC. The active application number for us is going to be application 1 because this is the process interface application, and the total number of apps will be 2. So once we hit yes here, we'll see that the add-on instruction goes busy. The get application information has been done. The information has populated here, so we have active application number 1 and 2 applications are on the camera. This get application information on the first scan was done because we did it offline. If we imported the add-on instruction online, we could also do the same function manually by using the get application information trigger. Any trigger inside the add-on instruction is a rising edge trigger. So we can either toggle it like I'm going to do here in the add-on instruction, or we can set it up in our logic with a one-shot trigger. So it's going to be a rising edge trigger on any of the triggers. So if I imported this and I needed to update the information, here I could go to get application trigger, and here we'll see the commands have gone busy and the get application information has been done again. That means this information has been refreshed. We'll notice that when I leave the application trigger high, the command ready bit will be low. This means that I can no longer send another trigger until I set the trigger low. So once I set this low again, then my command ready bit will go high. So this is what you can use inside your logic. Anytime this command ready bit is high, you can then send a trigger. We'll also see that when you get a done bit, whether it's a get application info done, evaluation results done, or the change application, they will always go low on the rising edge of the trigger. So here when I toggle my get application information trigger, you'll see the get app info done bit go low and then high again once it's complete. So that anytime you have the done bit, you'll know that the information has been refreshed in the add-on instruction. Now we're ready to send the trigger to the camera. So we'll see in the Vision Assistant that the camera is waiting for the evaluation. So here we're going to use the evaluation trigger. Same behavior will happen here. Once I trigger the camera, the command will go busy, but this time the evaluation will go done. You'll notice that the get application information done bit stays high. So here it's been done. When it's done, I have information now in my evaluation data buffer, and I can see my results. If I look at the information in ASCII, I'll see that I have some code information here. If I reference back to the camera, I can see that my code information matches my content here. There's also some header information, and to understand what that information is here, I can click on the application and go to the interface to see what it is telling me. So I'm going to edit the application, go to Interfaces, Ethernet IP, and now I'll see my data here. So I have a reading result, pass or fail. A 1 is going to be an indication for pass, and 0 for fail. We'll also see that this produces 16 bits of information. It's 1 word of data, and so that's why data 0 and 1 are consumed by this reading result. Further down, we can see that in data 2, I have a value of 11. If I look at that in decimal, I'll see that that is a value of 17. Going down into the tree, we'll see that the next information is going to be the number of bytes. Again, this is 1 word of information, so therefore bytes 2 and 3 are used. And so I have 17 bytes of information, and that's what 4 through 20 is here. And finally, here's my content after the byte information. So now I understand the full array that's coming into the evaluation data. As you change things here, as you change the way the data types are, you can change how the information comes in into the PLC. So going back, now what we're ready to do is change the application. So I'm going to set my trigger bit low here and change my application. I'm going to set my application number to the value of 2, and then I'm going to set the change application trigger. We'll see the commands have gone busy. The evaluation and the get application information bit has gone low, and we'll see my change application bit has gone high. We'll also notice that this is in continuous trigger mode. So the camera always goes out, or the add-on instruction always goes out and sees what kind of trigger is active. Is it a process interface trigger, or is it a continuous trigger? And here we can see that it's continuously triggering. So we're not going to get the evaluation done bit here, but the data is going to be cyclic here. So now what I'm going to do is look at my evaluation data. I can put my hand in front of the camera, and we'll see that the information now passes and fails as my hand is in front of the camera or not. We also have the last trigger here, which is the get statistics trigger. So at any time I can set this trigger. So I'm going to set my trigger low so I get my command ready bit and then get my statistics. So we'll see that the information came in here. I have 464 total readings and some passed and failed readings. Now it's gone along pretty quick here, but you can see at the time that I triggered it that this would match the overall statistics here. So again, set this trigger low and we can get the information. The only way to reset this information is to go into the camera, and we can set the reset all statistics here, and we'll see that this has restarted. Now if we set the trigger again, we'll see the new information come through. We've covered everything except for the Ethernet IP connection fault and the AOI settings error. So we'll cover these last two things. The AOI settings error, this means that an input into the add-on instruction has been incorrectly done. So this could be anything from changing setting multiple triggers. So if I get my statistics trigger here, and then I also try to get the application info, we'll see that it does not send any commands. The AOI settings error bit goes high. So you can only have one trigger active at a time. Another fault that you could have is I can set the application number I'm already on application 2, so if I try to change the application, it will no longer let me do that because I have to change it to another number other than 2. So the add-on instruction prevents any errors from being sent to the camera, so there is no errors possible with the add-on instruction. The Ethernet IP connection faulted bit. This will be of course, if your Ethernet IP module goes down. So here I have pulled the Ethernet cable away from it, and I have the Ethernet IP connection faulted bit. Now we can also see that all the information here is low. I can no longer send a trigger, so I can't start the add-on instruction to do anything, and all my done bits have gone low. Once I reset the communication, then the get application number will go active again. So just to show that, let's go into the camera. Oh, we can't go to the camera. Let's plug it back in. And we'll see that the commands have gone busy and the get application information has been done. So we rebooted and the continuous trigger mode. So it's just like the first scan, everything has started from the beginning. So this completes the add-on instruction and all the functions. And so now we're ready to implement this into our application.